Hi folks, just thought I'd put a quick video up, sort of a goodbye to 2018, hello 2019, channel update, and a quick look at what I've been doing most recently on the painting desk. In front of you can see the most recent things that I've finished, things you've probably already seen on my videos. It's been a quite productive 2018 from the point of view on the painting table. I've been doing lots and lots of work. Started on my fantasy stuff for the Hawkmoon trilogy, and also been working on latest acquisitions to increase my Napoleonic collection, the Austrians, which I must admit started off quite shaky with the white. It's one of the not easiest colours to paint. I think black's probably the only hardest one next to the yellows and reds. So it's not an easy one, but I think I've got the hang of it now. So yeah, I've been pushing forward with my Austrian collection, which brings me up to what's been going on in the painting desk part of the video. Completed another Austrian Line Infantry Battalion. Rank and file are periplastic. Casualty figure is a periplastic, and front rank officers and standard bearer, I think the guy at the back even is a Victrix as well. So all the main manufacturers of 28mm wargaming, as I say. Quite a few people don't like mixing miniature manufacturers. Myself personally, I really enjoy it. It gives you the fluidness, the movement of the bases, and as you know, I like to do big bases, so you know it's helpful. And I know they're all in marching pose, but it just gives them a little bit of more sort of animation to the figures. So that's the Austrian Line, and first of the Austrian Landwehr. These are all Victrix figures, apart from the officer, which is a Peri, and another Peri casualty figure thrown in. Grey. It's an Austrian trend, grey and white, I should say. I think I'm painting in monochrome at the moment, after the lushness of painting the Lanchonettes. Once again, I know they're all pretty much the same pose, but you know, it just gives that sort of element of large unit when you put a lot of figures on one base. So that one's done, and made a start on the next Landwehr. These are Upper Austria Landwehr, although I think I've painted the jackets slightly darker grey than they probably were, but hey-ho. And these guys are Lower Landwehr, slightly lighter grey trousers, so we'll stay in focus. Slightly lighter grey trousers. Officer's got white trousers, obviously, to note his status, and another Peri metal miniature casualty. This guy actually was standing up that way. He's actually running away, but I didn't quite like the idea of that, so I cut his base off and sort of knocked him about a bit, and put him into a sort of I'm trying to get up pose. So yeah, that's how far I've got with those guys. This is the rest of the Landwehr, so that'll be the next painting finished. My Austrian army is slowly but surely increasing. As I say, that's it at the moment. But we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. I'm hoping to have at the end of it the 2 Landwehr battalions, around 6 of the normal German Austrian line. I'm going to add a couple of Hungarian line, and some probably 2 Grenadier battalions as well. So that'll be the sort of mainstay of my Austrian army. Then I've got to look at the artillery and obviously the cavalry. sort of umming and ahhing still about whether it's going to be Perry or whether it's going to be front rank. Both equally make very, very nice Austrian cavalry, so you never know, I'll probably end up with doing one of each. Moving on to what's in painting next, for my fantasy armies, obviously the Lansquenets are going to be the Grand Bretagne soldiers, led by Melanidas. The other faction, led by Dorian Hawkmoon himself, are going to be the Camargue soldiers, which is one of the European factions in Hawkmoon's trilogies. For those, I'm going to be using these guys. These are Perry's Plastics. They're the French Agincourt armies infantry. So these guys are going to be the Camargue foot infantry. Both factions had cavalry. Still and ahhing how I'm going to do those, possibly with Grandemere for the Grand Bretagnes and some sort of mounted knights for the Camargue troops. So yeah, looking forward to painting those up, and that's coming in 2019. One of the big projects I'm looking at doing for 2019. I'm going to grab a couple of things, stop the video here, and I'll see you back in a second. And back again. As I was going to say, this is going to be one of the main projects for 2019, as you can see by the big name, Black Powder Big Battle. Always liked playing Black Powder, but wanted to see if I could tie together smaller engagements, or sort of divisional size engagements, into one big battle. So been looking at ideas and bits and pieces. So what I'm basically going to be doing is I'm going to be fighting out a large battle between a French and Austrian corps, and the campaign map itself is going to be, let's see if I can zoom in on it. There you go. The campaign map itself, the Austrians are going to be holding this line here, and the French are going to be approaching up through this road here, and hopefully breaking through the Austrian defences. What I'm hoping to be doing is, the way it's going to work is, I'm going to be playing, this is going to be a solo campaign, so I'm going to be playing the French, and the Austrians are going to be played by the game itself. Black Powder itself is quite easy sort of converted into a solo game because of the way the mechanisms works by commands and things. You never know exactly what's going to happen, so it gives you that sort of element of surprise, or fog of war, so to speak. But how it basically I'm going to do it is, as you can see in front of you, divided into four, is the four divisions of Devot's Corps, and as long as the divisions keep their momentum, they'll carry on in the game. If their momentum drops to below 6, it starts having problems, and if it drops to below 2, then they're going to be in real problems. They'll probably be exiting the board. See if I can zoom in a little better. There you go. Lourdes division. Basically made up of his 4 brigades. The momentum is at 10, set at 10 at the beginning. 1 being the lowest point. When they drops below that, then they're out of the game completely. What affects in the battle itself, on the tabletop, the brigades' momentums are affected, and then that corresponds to what affects the whole division. This is what the campaign looks at when they're moving around the battle, and this is what the battle, when you actually play a tabletop using Black Powder, this is what affects them. I'll go into more detail when I start playing the game, but that's the basics. The timeline is actually in hours, because the game, I imagine, is only going to be possibly 2 days, maybe 3 days long. So it's going to be an interesting idea. I'm going to throw a few ideas into it, see how they work. As I say, it's going to be solo played. I'm going to use my 6mm collection because I've got enough to fight out the battles, whereas my 28mm collection of Austrians isn't quite there yet. I'm sure I could put together a sizable force of French, but I think the Austrians might struggle to even put a brigade together. So that's it. Lots to look forward to in 2019, and only leaves me at the end of the video to say thank you very much for spending the time looking at my videos over 2018. Thank you to the subscribers that have pressed that little button to follow me along on the adventures. And as I say, I'm going to bring you lots of painting and campaigning in 2019, so lots to look forward to. Oh, excuse me. And as always, bye for now.